Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Nexo Knights Ultimate Lance set. This is set number 70337. It has 75 pieces and I paid $20 for this. This is a retired set like all Nexo Knight sets are. This one is from 2016. I want to say the retail price of this was, let me see if I can find it. I believe we were looking at $10 for this in 2016. I paid 20. Brickset says for new sealed like this one is 18 plus whatever. I was really interested in these. There's a couple of the ultimate characters for both, like, I don't know, the good guys and the bad guys that I thought were really interesting. As I've seen more and more of the figures in here, I've gotten more interested in these. And then also besides these, there's other kind of, I don't know if gimmick is the right word, but I would use that for like some of the Ninjago smaller sets, but like other sets like this in an interesting package that are like the battle suits. So this is the Ultimate Lance, which is kind of like a souped up Lance minifigure, and there was a bunch of these for different characters, and then there was also like the battle suit Lance. Probably has similar piece counts in each of those, but those came out in 2017 and I'll have to hunt some of those down. But this was really interesting to me, so I decided to pick this up, and so in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Nexo Knights Ultimate Lance set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up, and if you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. You can support the channel. There's links in the description, membership, supers, and thanks. All that stuff really helps. So thank you, and now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Nexo Knights Ultimate Lance set. This is cool. I think these are really great. I would love to have, you know, all of these ultimate characters that came out for Nexo Knights. I think they're a good form factor, kind of a nice little thing. It's like a minifigure that can be played with. There's also like a real displayability here. It seems like you know, having these kind of arranged on a shelf would make a ton of sense, and I think this is pretty cool. So we will get right into it. And the first thing that we will look at is the minifigure. Now this set is just called the Ultimate Lance, so for the most part it is a minifigure plus. So a minifigure plus a bunch of accessories, and I'll kind of go through those all. But at least for right now, I'll break it down to kind of the main figure itself. I'll I guess sort of go through the accessories here a little bit. The first one is a shield using that Nexo Knight shield piece, so a couple hollow studs up there, the bar element on the back, a couple studs back there as well. There is one stud underneath that tile, the Nexo Knight shield tile. So you get one here. This is printed. This is really nice. You get 3 of those total. So if I show all of these other ones, you can see what you can switch them out to. And these are like semi-collectible, and they were like scannable. You could scan these in to the app to play the Nexo Knight games, similar to the like hidden side stuff, where it's sort of not augmented reality or anything, but like you could, well, maybe for Hidden Side it specifically was, but these, there was like a game you could scan these to do stuff in the game. So we have 3 of these shields. These are all printed. They're all on different translucent tiles and then have nice printing on there. So that is really cool. I believe this one is the takeoff power up. This one is the charge attack. And this one is the Sea Dragon. Well, that one's kind of self-explanatory. So you do get one of these shield accessories here, which is very, very cool. And then the other thing, this character's name is Lance, and one of their maybe signature kind of accessories or weapons or tools is going to be a lance. Think like jousting or something like that. Now I know that there's, so like for Macy's Thunder Mace, that was like a vehicle that kind of looked like a mace, but also like, you know, Macy, she has a mace. I think there's one that's like Axel, and maybe they have a bow of some kind, or there's these different characters for all these different kind of things here, and that's cool. I just want to see if I can figure out Axel, yeah, Murloc. Oh, Clay. So what does Clay use? There's Clay, there is Macy, there's Aaron. Maybe Aaron is the bow. There's Robin. A couple, there is Axel, there is Lance, and then a couple of the other just different characters here. So, you know, some of the names, it makes a ton of sense. Some of the names, maybe it's a little more, you have to work out what their accessory might be. Either way, for this character, it's a lance. So we build this big accessory out here. I think this is really, really cool. It's sort of, well, it just totally fits in with this sort of scientific or sci-fi, medieval kind of, you know, I don't know what they call it, not swords and sandals, but like swords and knights and armor and kingdoms and castle, kind of medieval setting here, but then like the sci-fi techno whatever, and so this starts at the base with kind of a ray gun. They've used this for like Stitch at various points. We put on a disc on there, then we use like the actual lance piece that is really, really old. I don't even know if they make this piece anymore. I mean, I'm saying it's old, the set's from 2016, but this piece had been around for a long time. So it is like a bar element. It almost seems like it might be a little bit thicker than the standard bar element I'm used to seeing. I want to say it's a little bit thicker than a, say, you know, the end of this or a lightsaber. I could be wrong, but that's just my impression. It does have the little kind of hilt area there, and we have that, so that's extended out. We put a conical piece kind of in that pearl silver color there, and then the crystal on the end, which is very, very cool. And then on the lower kind of handle thing, we have one of these interesting hilt pieces, kind of a T hilt piece, and we put another crystal there. So this is the lance. I think this looks great. It's really, really cool. It's big. The color selection is great. Would have loved if this color or this piece could have come in that kind of pearl silver color like these. That would have really made this like almost perfect, you know, without any thing to complain about there. So that's the one thing that light bluish gray there does stick out a little bit to me, but I think the rest of this is really quite good. I like the use of the crystals here, and it feels very sci-fi and also, you know, castle era stuff. So I like that a lot. And then looking at the minifigure itself, besides those couple accessories, we have Lance here. So right off the bat, I really like Lance's color scheme. It reminds me a little bit of Zane from Ninjago, and this is really, really cool. So has the Nexo Knight helmet up there, which is like a classic space helmet with a more sort of a different visor. Now this visor is clear. We can see we have the little antenna here, connects up there, kind of have the armor coming to a point around the front, kind of have this part up on the top there. It's actually a little bit hard to see because the helmet is white and the visor is kind of clear, but sort of that frosted glass color. It's kind of a frosted clear. I really like these Nexo Knight helmets. It sort of takes the classic space helmet and kind of reinvents it in a really, really fun way. So having this kind of extend out, having it, you know, overlap a little bit, adding the crest on the top, I think is all really, really great. So you get that. Looking at the face, we have a kind of a smirk here, sort of a defined jawline there. Nice face. We do have an alternate face, which is maybe a winking face, which is very cool. We do have this Nexo Knight kind of armor pauldron thing here. So it goes over the shoulders there. It comes around the front. It does have a cutout that's in a similar shape to like a Nexo Knight shield tile. And through there we can see, it's kind of hard to see, but there's like a metallic printing of a horse in there. So that is really cool. I think maybe that's specifically for Lance that has that. And I'll pop this off so we can see this is the armor piece. Again, kind of that frosted clear, a little bit different. It's not like perfectly clear. I think it looks really, really good. I like this a lot. The like production work throughout this is really strong. So this is great. There are 4 studs on the rear there on the back. And then looking at the figure without that on there, we can see that kind of metallic horse kind of emblem right there, sort of shining. And this is a super detailed torso. So different line weights, the lining for the different portions of the armor printed on here are really, really good. Inside here, these are all like very tiny little dots throughout there, and they might even be semi-hexagonal. It kind of looks like, you know, it's a traditional sort of knight's armor, but then sort of sci-fi Power Rangers kind of changed there. And I think this looks really, really great. So a ton of detail on here. Printing is all very good. It is on a white base, so that helps. We do have printing on the midsection. Again, very detailed. The lining up of this is not the best. It's not terrible, but it's not as good as it could be. But we do have super detail. We still have some of those dots or hexagons kind of continuing down onto the midsection. Printing on the legs, up at the top, in the middle, down onto the feet there. So very, very detailed printing throughout this. I've said this before with Chima figures, some Ninjago figures, Dreams figures, Nexo Knights figures, Hidden Side figures, stuff that's like Lego internal or Lego originating intellectual property. Something like this, they do go, you know, more detailed than for some of their other properties, and it's more economical to do that. So this is really, really great. I love this figure. No printing on the arms or the side here of the leg. That's okay. And then looking at the back of the torso, we get kind of continuation there of sort of the armor going down the spine. Has kind of an Iron Man sort of vibe to it as well, which is really cool. Again, very, very detailed at the back there. So that is really great. And that is the figure. Now for the most part, you know, this is the ultimate version of a figure. This figure does come in other sets. I'm thinking, you know, they probably have the helmet and the armor in those other sets most of the time. They might have, you know, a slightly smaller kind of lance type accessory and a shield piece, or maybe not, if they're in a set with like a vehicle or something else, that I would have to wait and see. I don't think I've encountered this character in any other sets yet, but I would have to go back and look because I may be wrong about that. The next thing that you build is actually this kind of little sub-assembly here. Now this is kind of a jetpack, backpack, wing sort of suit element. So this is really cool. It starts just with a 2x2. We add these technical pinhole plates there, cheese wedge there. Put some pin to axle connectors in both sides. The bushing, then this bigger gray piece, kind of the double bushing with the axle holes, and then the pinhole in beneath, or in the middle, sorry, in between. Put the same kind of pin, or 1/3 pin, 2/3 axle kind of thing in there. We add on these wings. We add on these pearl silver kind of cones there. And so this is to be attached to the back. We have those 4 studs on the back, and this is really, really nice. So we can move these, to get them kind of more parallel to the ground or to the bottom of the figure's feet. We can also have them be sort of up like this, so it would look more like that. You can have them at an angle in between. You also get a little bit of play with the kind of angle on how we want these. So we could kind of have those up something like that. We could turn them down a little bit. And then, yeah, you do have clearance, so you could kind of spin these any which way you might want. And this is really cool too. You can have the accessories on them with that. Then it's going to limit a little bit where you can move these. I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe it's just got enough clearance. You could get some interaction, but for the most part, it should be fine. So we can kind of get this all on there. So now they're like super equipped with their kind of jetpack wings thing here, their shield and their lance. In terms of balancing it, right now actually nothing else is touching the ground other than the minifigure feet there. So it is pretty well balanced. The shield, the lance, all that stuff is not on the surface. So having the wings up and this, tilted up, it's able to stand on its own, which is really well considered, I would say. Of course, if we have trouble balancing it, we can tilt the wings down to give us extra points of contact with the ground. Same with the shield and with the lance. So I wouldn't be too worried about like setting this down. And actually, if you're using kind of the accessories like the jetpack to assist, it's actually, I just feel pretty good setting this down, and I'm not too worried about it collapsing over, which is important for play. And I think that is really, really nice. So the balance here is good, and I think this looks great. I think this looks like a souped up minifigure in a wonderful way. And then the rest of the build is this sort of display stand sort of station here. This is pretty interesting. For the time being, I have the additional Nexo shield tiles there on the side, but this is kind of unique. It uses some of these like A plates here. We connect those in the middle, just with those 2 studs. We add this nice kind of pearl silver pointed piece, faceted piece there, a couple jumpers on top, and we build out these side sections. They're very basic 2x3s, a 1x4 like angled plate on either side. We add some hinges in here, some cheese wedges. On the back of this one, we have a couple clips that have like some of these, sort of megaphone flashlight type pieces there with the orange stud on either end, and that sort of matches this color-wise a little bit. Over on the other side, we have the same kind of hinge plate thing here on the back side. For this one, we have a modified plate with the bar element, kind of have that mech finger coming off of here, the translucent orange kind of clip piece, something like this, the bar with the clip And then we have yet another accessory there. So this is the older style stud shooter here. So we do have the handle or the grip or whatever, the mechanism to make this work is up top. Right now we have a light blue translucent tile up there, or plate rather, stud, I suppose. We have a couple of the pearl silver studs back here, and one of these kind of gemstones at the rear. So this is supposed to be kind of a like water cannon, I think is the idea here. And it sort of pairs up with the kind of sea serpent, sea dragon type thing for this. So the sea dragon thing in the game is maybe something similar to this, and they seem to be kind of linked. So this is another accessory we can add on here. Let's say we don't have the lance, and we can swap out this sort of stud shooter, water cannon type accessory there. And let me just get this in the minifigure's hand so we can see what that would look like. And I'm having a little bit of difficulty just because of the armor here, but let's see here. Yeah, so we can get that in there. So they're holding that. They're kind of holding it in a weird way. We don't have a ton of room there, not necessarily because the wings, although maybe you would get an interaction in there, but it's also because of the pauldron and the way that minifigure arms and hands work. But I think that looks totally cool, kind of side gripping it there, and we can launch that off. I think that's really great. The color scheme matches, and it's just a different type of accessory here. And then we do get next to that a chest, one of these like taller chest pieces with the 2x2 jumper on top, and inside we have 3 more of those light translucent studs, which are the kind of projectiles for this water cannon. I always appreciate when there's storage for those things built into the set. You know, in this case, it's super handy to have this there. It sits on a jumper itself, so it's easy to pull that off, and we can you know, have extras or supplies of those kind of stored in here automatically. I also love that this is essentially to mount that, to keep it in storage, or if it's on display or whatever. It's a really nice kind of thing that they like wanted all of the accessories to be able to kind of be attached in some way or another. So I think that's a real success. And then for the other side, you know, we do have these elements clipped on here, and if I'm seeing this correctly, the intention is sort of to put them on the wings. And let me see here, if we have these kind of going forward, we can have these kind of going backward here, and maybe those are additional thrust, maybe those are for the charge attack, kind of. That's what this tile represents. That's the power up, the Nexo power or whatever. We can add those on there to kind of give it a look of like extra thrust, extra boosters. I think that flows really, really nicely. Doesn't look too crazy. You know, that's such a minor thing. It's just those like 4 parts. They look fine when they're on here, but it's a nice addition to the minifigure, and it looks fine without them. It looks great with them. Maybe it's better with them just because then we don't have this empty kind of axle hole up top. But frankly, I really don't mind this, how it looks anyway. So that is another thing that we can do there for the charge attack. And then, yeah, we have a spot for the figure itself to get studded down. And this is everything that's in this set. So you get the one minifigure, very detailed minifigure, really cool printing. Get their accessories. They're kind of, I'm guessing, souped up version of the accessories there. We get the little platform, which I believe all of these ultimate ones have like a platform that's the similar form factor like this. So using these same kind of A plates and then having a little bit of extensions off there. So you could like set these next to each other, or maybe make them end to end and kind of have a round or something, or just, stagger them on a shelf or something like that. So you build that, and then you get places for the accessories. You get different tiles to play in the game. I'm assuming the app for the Nexo stuff is no longer functional, no longer supported, probably not able to download it, although I'm not 100% sure on that. I just think that's the case for Hidden Side. I would venture to guess that it's the same for this, so that might not be live anymore. But to me, as someone who's like judging this based on just the Lego of it all, that's not a huge concern. I'm sure at the time, for people who were into it, who were watching the show, who were playing the game or whatever, these were super collectible and potentially valuable if these were the ways to get them. But for me, they're just like really, really cool prints. So I like that. And that's everything that's in this set. We do have some extra pieces here. So of course we do get an extra additional one of the light blue translucent there. We get the orange translucent for the stud, as well as the bar with the clip, little Technic bushing, the trigger mechanism for the stud shooter, and a stud in that pearl silver kind of color. So those are the extra pieces. And this set is 75 pieces, one minifigure. It retailed for $10 in 2016, and I got this in 2025, and I paid $20 for it. So double the price. It went up double the price. It went up $10 for what I paid and kind of what the market value is. It's a retired set. It's been retired for a long time, been out of production for a long time. Finding them sealed like this was is, there's finite number of them, and anytime anyone opens one up, the amount of them goes down. I think this is really, really cool. I don't feel too bad about this. I think $10 in 2016 is probably a good price for this. Frankly, like if it's $5 for the minifigure, or even in 2025, if we're putting the minifigure maybe in the $5 to $10 range, depending on what the aftermarket looks like or the resale market looks like, plus the rest you have here. I think I've seen worse sets. I don't know about $20. If Lego were to put this on the shelf in 2025, I'm guessing they would have it in the 12 to 15-ish dollars, kind of in that area, just based on the amount of stuff here, the overall size of this. This clearly isn't a poly bag. It clearly is much more than like a collectible minifigure, but it has elements of those. I mean, you could, if this is all disassembled, it probably could fit in a poly bag, but it doesn't seem like the kind of thing they would do for $5. So, I think the $10 retail price in 2016 probably felt fine. Maybe that's just in hindsight. Maybe people thought $10 for just a one minifigure and this little build and the accessories, that's like a huge ripoff. I don't know. If you were buying these sets at the time, please let me know what your feelings were. I paid, above retail price. I paid what the essentially market price is for this in 2025. I think I got a fair deal. I liked looking at Nexo stuff. I understand a little bit with Chima, with Hidden Side, with some of the kind of middle era, or, not like completely vintage sort of Lego, but looking at stuff from the 2009 to 2018 or whatever it works out to be, sort of the just pre-modern, that's ever shifting. But I would refer to this as kind of a mid-modern era Lego set, and a theme that is no longer around. I expected to pay a little bit more. It seems like, the battle suit versions of these, I think the battle suit Lance and the battle suit Clay probably have like similar amount of pieces to this, have the one minifigure, and then kind of have like a proto mech to like what they've done with mechs now. And those seem to go for like, up towards to $40 for maybe 75 pieces. So I don't feel too bad about this. I thought this was really interesting of concept. I'm pretty happy with it, and like I said, if possible, I would like to get the rest of these ultimate characters to have, because I think they're really great looking. I think they're really interesting, and they're kind of a relic of a theme no longer around, which I appreciate. So I really like this. It has a display ability to it. It has some play, can combine with other Nexonite things here. I think there's value here. I am happy with the price I paid, and I think this is a great set. So I really liked this, and I'm looking forward to seeing more Nexonite stuff, and hopefully more of these ultimate Nexonite characters as I go through this. So this was great. Thumbs up from me, and I think that's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Nexonite stuff, more of those other themes that I've talked about. I have a big hidden side set that I haven't built yet, and a couple other ones that I haven't reviewed. I have a bunch of Chima stuff. I've been kind of mixing up, getting modern sets, like brand new sets released for 2025, as well as older sets and lots of different stuff. So if you're interested in any of my upcoming LEGO videos, make sure you're subscribed. That helps me a lot. I appreciate it. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. It'd be crazy to get there. So I appreciate all the help, and we'll do a giveaway when we get there. And then if you want to support the channel in a different way besides subscribing, you can give money to the channel. There's like links in the description. There's membership, supers, and thanks on YouTube, Patreon, patreon.com/SoBricks. There's a link in the description. There's affiliate links in the description. There probably won't be one for this. There's some affiliate links to other things. If you click on one of those links, and then even if you search for something else and don't buy that product, I believe I will still get, you know, a half a penny or something when you buy something for yourself that you want with your own money for yourself. So you're not sending money to me directly. You're just sort of supporting me by using one of my affiliate links. I believe it works even if you're buying a different product. If you start from one of my links, that's provided you're not using honey or something like that, which is its own separate thing that I'm not going to be discussing on here really, but that is a way to support the channel, using affiliate links. So thank you very much, and with all that said, until next time, thanks, bye.